I want to talk about something that's happening right now, something that's happening in our schools, and it's happening across our nation, and it has to do with all of this call of anti-racism by all these racists. Actually, they are racists. So we have seen a call to defund the police, right? We've seen Black Lives Matter say that the police are now institutionally racist. They are targeting Black Americans. So therefore, we need to defund them. We need to abolish them. And we're seeing it across America. We're seeing it especially in these liberal cities where they're defunding the police. We saw that New York got $1 billion cut. We see that crime rates have gone up. We see in Seattle that they're taking steps to defund the police. They're hiring ex-pimps to now be the new community enforcers or whatever. So yeah, we're seeing these supposed solutions that actually hurt Black America, did not make our country more safe, and are quite frankly stupid. And now we're starting to see this in our schools. I am a school teacher, and there was a conversation happening yesterday at my site about how grades are racist, about how homework is racist, and about how turning in work on time is racist, having students turn in work on time. Oh, so are their schools actually taking steps to put in new policies that are anti-racist? Yes, they are. San Diego Unified just put out a new policy a week ago where they're now not going to require students to, that grades can't have homework homework can't be part of their grade. So when a student does not turn in their homework, they can't have their grade lowered because of it. Because you know what? Homework is racist. Because our Black and brown kids weren't completing the homework at the rate that the white kids were completing it. So therefore, we need to get rid of homework. We need to not hold them accountable to it, and no longer make it part of their grades. They're also putting in a policy where they are not going to allow teachers to hold students accountable for late work. So when a student turns in a work late and there's a deadline and the student has some points taken away from their assignment, that is no longer okay, because that is racist, right? And because the white kids, they were able to turn in their work on time, but those poor Black and brown kids, they can't turn in their work on time. So therefore, we're going to get rid of it and make it so that it's not racist anymore. And then they also have where, if a kid is misbehaving in class or being disrespectful to the teacher, knowingly cussing a teacher out or whatever it may be, now we can no longer punish a student for willful defiance because it's racist, because more Black and brown kids were, being rude to their teachers. So therefore, because we were suspending them at a higher rate, we need to stop doing that. And these kids can treat the teachers however they want. They're not going to get in trouble. Okay. So first of all, the article does not, that I read all this from, the article does not mention Asian kids, because Asian kids are pretty much, they're model minorities now. Because some liberal came up with some term of model minority, some liberal professor, I think it was like 10, 15 years ago, decided that the minorities in our country that do well, they're model minorities, and therefore they don't count anymore. They're following along with the system, and so they're not oppressed. And let's just forget about them, because they're actually doing well. They're actually doing better than white Americans, and they're not talking about that at all. They're not talking about that in the article. And let's just focus on these poor Black and brown kids that are not turning in their homework and that aren't able to make the grade, right? So can we talk about this for a second? Do you realize that this is racist, to lower standards because of the color of someone's skin? Because you think that they are so oppressed and such victims that they can't turn in their homework, that they can't turn stuff in on time? That, you know what, guys, that's not right. Our students can do it. Our Black and brown kids can do it. And we need to stop making excuses for them. We need to stop lowering the standards for them, because they are not slower than white kids, like the article stated. And I will link the article with this video. They stated that some kids learn at a slower pace. Yeah, the some kids you are talking about is Black and brown kids, and they are not slower than white kids. All right. And yes, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for all. There's kids that struggle in all races. There's kids that struggle with school in all races, but collectively lowering the standards based on the color of students' skin is not going to help them. Lowering the standards for kids does not help them. We need to encourage them. We need to uplift them to rise to the standard. And also collectively demonizing schools, like how we're demonizing the police as racist, as having homework as some sort of racist policy, that is not going to help either. All right? What's the point of school? We are trying to make functional citizens who are going to do well at their job once they get older and be able to make money. Now, telling kids that they don't have to turn in their work in on time, telling them that they don't have to do their homework because that's racist, is not going to create good workers when they get older, okay? We want our students to turn in their work on time, all right? And there needs to be consequences sometimes. And, this idea that we're just blaming these institutions for the reason why some of our students are failing is not right. It's not right because it's not true, all right? Our schools in California, they are not institutionally racist. I've worked in them many times. I worked in them my whole life. I've worked at several different schools. I've always worked with Black and brown kids. They are not institutionally racist. In fact, I would say the most racist thing about those schools is all the white teachers that just think they deserve some sort of medal for working with Black and brown kids. Like, oh, I work in hard school. You know what? Those kids are not that hard. They aren't. They really aren't. So y'all need to stop with your little pity party. You need to stop lowering the standards for Black and brown kids. They can meet the standard. We need to actually address what's going on in our communities that's causing them to not do as well as with their homework. Maybe because they don't have a father at home making sure that they're doing their homework. But you know what? That's a whole nother video. So please, America, stop being racist. Stop with your stupid racist solutions that only hurt Black communities. And please don't attack the schools now, because we are trying our best, and our students do need to rise to the standard, and lowering the standard for them is not going to help. All right? So San Diego, you're stupid. Don't do that to our kids. It's racist. Bye.